see. I think it's working. Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the first Palm Street live stream. If you're watching us from YouTube, check us out. Palm Street is a live sale app where you can purchase things live. This is mainly going to be like a little introduction. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Isaac. I am the primary caretaker here at Cali Coral Connect. We have about, there's a lot of different tanks. Probably about 13 tanks. About 6 systems, if I correct myself. What you're seeing right now on the screen is just our little side panel of our 200-gallon lagoon. You can see all the fishes are kind of moving all over the place because I'm holding little pellets for them. But in this tank, as you can see, we have some hammers, torches. Let's see what else we got in there. We have the giant Sherman nem. We have some of our chalices for grow out, Goniaporas. This is mainly just like the LPS tank per se. For fishes, we have some Anthias, some lyre-tails. We have chromies. We have our breeding, colony of chromies. Let's see if I can grab my phone off this little clip. Oh, wrong one. All right, we'll just leave it there. Whoa, Palm Tree is a little laggy. So this is the 200-gallon system. That's all the fishes. It's actually, it's a lagoon, so it's a little more different. Usually the 200 gallons are a little more taller. We have our hammers, torches, nems. We have a couple little tangs in here. Everyone's a little happy because they're being fed right there. Moving on to our second system. I'm just trying to work on this. Over here is going to be where we have most of our grow-out chalices and meat corals, like blastos and acans. If you're just tuning in, hello, my name is Isaac, and we're just walking around the room to give you a little intro. So this is what our tanks are, and then we have some more frags over here. Of course, the stripey is always looking at me a little hungry. And then that was system 2. Going back, this is going to be system number 3. This one is where our grow-out mushrooms are. They're sitting right there in the corner. We have our doughboy, doughgirls, magic carpets, sun-kiss, a whole array of mushrooms right there. Hi, Aiden. We also are trying out some acroporas. We have a lot of our chalice frags in here. Not too many meats because I am a little worried about that guy, the little stripey. Let's see, what else do we have here? That's pretty much it for this system. We have a couple little fishes like the stripey. Oh, hi, Michaela. We have a Scopus tang, and I think there's supposed to be a lieutenant tang somewhere, but that's it for that one. Moving on, this is system number 4. This is actually going to be our newest system. So right here we have our OG bounces, fungias, some other mushrooms, and a lot of other frags. Let's go over to this corner. Over here we have our zoanthids in the back. Not sure if you can see them too much. They're over there. We have our GSP in here as well. This tank can fit about, each tank, there's 2 tanks. This is a 300-gallon system. They can fit probably about 2,000 frags when fully stocked. But that's it for those. Moving on to this one. This is going to be our new fish system. This one is basically where we do our copper quarantine on them. We have some clownfish, tangs. Let's see, we have some wrasses down here. We also have some flaming prawns in here, but they're kind of hiding, so you can't really see them. But all the fishes go through here, get their full treatment. I'll talk a little more about that later. But let's see. Let me set this down right here for a second. But yeah, just another little introduction. My name is Isaac. Welcome to our Palm Street Live. This is going to be mainly for introduction purposes. We do have some corals, I believe, on our Palm Street page, or you can check us out on the website, CaliCoralConnect.com. Personally, I've been in this hobby for about 4 to 5 years, give or take. I started when I was in high school. It started from a little 10-gallon all the way up until, well, a lot of different systems. This year we're pushing a little more towards content creation, such as our lives, YouTube videos, shorts, just overall posting about what we have and what new things we get. We get new corals every week or make new frags. There's always something new to happen in here, but I'm just using this to test out all the little Palm Street settings. Let's see, I believe I talked in depth about the System 1, System 2. Let me turn off the flow in this tank real quick. All right, let me get this up. There we go. So if you see anything, or if you want to know more about something, feel free to let me know in the comments. I have YouTube in the back corner, but I can't really see the chat on there. But as you can see, we have the dough boys, dough girls. We have some of our grow bigger pieces of chalices. We have our bounce chalices. If I can move this out the way for a second. So this is going to be one of the main strains we have. This is not lineage to the Cosmic from Worldwide Corals, but it is our strain. I'll show you the mother colony in a second. And then we also have this blue, I guess, bounce chalice. Pretty much stays blue. Not too much with that. It is a newer colony, so it doesn't have its bubbles yet. And then we have this little green guy. It's another bounce chalice. So there's actually a lot of different colors you can get. Let's see. Other than that, we have some Space Invaders, Miami chalices. We're actually testing out. Let me see if I can grab it. This little chalice, trying to get it to bounce. I don't think I can zoom in on Palm Street, but there's little bubbles all over the place. It's just I'm waiting for them to get bigger to see if they can actually bubble. But other than that, let's see. Moving over, we have some of our Mummy Eye chalices, Goku chalices, Easter egg chalices, Spider-Man chalices. I'm just trying to throw these names out there. We have some Cuppy chalice, which I could mention is pretty cool. They pretty much grow into a little cup. Petunias. I have a couple petunias, such as these ones. I believe they call it the Rainbow Petunia. I also have the Space Invader one, but my colony is still healing, so I think I only have one frag of those. Flaming Mohicans or Little Shops of Horrors. I honestly, unfortunately, can't keep Little Shops of Horrors. It's one of those zoas where they're a little finicky. But if you are looking for those, yes, they are very sensitive. I believe those and the day glows are one of my most sensitive zoanthids. But if you're looking for those, I believe we know a couple people that have them. You can always just message us through our Instagram. Oh yeah, coral shrimp. Oh yeah. Wait, your shrimp really ate it? Oh wow, that's crazy. Oh yeah, for the rainbow petunias, those can go for about like $30, and then it'll be a frag about this big. The frags are usually pretty big, just because, well, everyone goes for their eyes. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, shrimps usually can go after zoas when they have like some algae or something on it. Let me see. It was probably a peppermint shrimp, though. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. And then we have some rainbow chalices, like our, what are they calling them? Jelly beans. We've recently fragged one of those. And then we have some of these little wild ones, or maricultured ones, that I'm trying to get to color up. Excuse a little allergy. Ooh, algae? Algae. But these ones are getting a lot of colors. It's getting like a little teal in the middle, and then this is a little green marker. But testing all these guys out, seeing how they grow. We keep all the corals in here for at least like a couple months before we actually start selling them if they're from the wild or maricultured. But other than that, we have some favias. Most notable, people love the pandemic favias because they're really bright. Other than that, we have some of our grafted fruity pebble. To be honest, let me see. This is as big as I've got in my fruity pebbles. I don't want to make them close up, but this is one of the mushrooms everyone really loves. I haven't got it to have a baby yet, but when I take a close-up video with my camera, these guys are always definitely one of the fire shrooms out there. I think, which other mushroom was over here? I think that one, and then, some people were going a little high-end mushrooms. At the moment, I believe our main high-end mushroom we have for sale is going to be the mellow yellows. Let me try to pan this camera this way. They're going to be these guys. Let me just pick them up. So these guys are basically, I'm not sure on the species exactly, but pretty much these bubbles stay consistent throughout their entire growth, which is kind of a one-up everyone loves. Color-wise, they mainly get that little teal, greenish color. I haven't seen them get any other colors, but that one's a good beginner-friendly if you want to get into like collector mushrooms. Other than that, we do have some doe girls, although we are waiting for our mothers to produce. Same with the doe boys. That's it for mushrooms. Continuing to this tank. This one is going to be where it's all the frags grown out in our 200 lagoon. They're all pretty much going to go over to here. We have a lot of our acanthos, a little lineup of our scolies. We have a little aquacultured master right there. We also have some other zoas in this tank. We have a lot of acans. It's also another rainbow space invader petinia. It's just a little more grown out. Let's see. Thank you. We have our little blasto colony. Let's see what else is over here. We have some Wilsonized. We're still healing up that guy, so he's a little unhappy. We also have this nice little hammer that they were saying like a bouncing hammer because like the heads are huge. But this is one. Oh, sorry. This is one coral you definitely have to see in person. Other than that, that's pretty much it for this tank. Except we do have our mangroves in that corner. We got that one at Reef and honestly, it's just been growing. We just have some lights from Amazon, and then it's just growing pretty good. Let's see. We talked about the lagoon, talked about this tank. Let me just turn the flow back on in here. You guys can see the corals real quick. There we go. All right, that should turn on. Moving on back to this room. Let's see. Let me just turn off the flow real quick on these tanks. But right now, we pretty much have this as primarily grow out. Of course, some stuff in here is for sale. If I can wait for the return pumps to stop messing up the water. But we have a little acanto down here. We have this Lobo we got from BSA at Reef You can't really see it because of the filter, but there is a lot of pink on this, and honestly, it's been getting pretty big. I wouldn't recommend putting them next to other Lobos because that one does have a pretty big sting. We also have our micromusas in here, our blastos and stuff like that. And this is the mother colony of our bounce chalice. Oh, that one's a little stuck to each other. There we go. But that's pretty much the mother. So if you ever want to know, this is what our lineage is. She usually gets bigger bubbles, but we did just frag her not too long ago for a video. And you can see the frags are still growing up their bubbles too. We also have these other bounce chalice colonies. I can explain a little bit about these guys. This one is going to be a newer colony. This was maricultured. So that one hasn't got its bubbles yet, and it still hasn't really got its color. Believe it or not, this mother chalice started off exactly like this guy, which started off exactly like that one. So it's a little crazy what a couple of years in growth pretty much does. Other than that, we have our glass chalice colony. This one's growing up pretty good. We're still getting a couple requests for frags of these, but to be honest, this is a slow grower, so I'm still waiting it to grow a little more out. Other than that, that's pretty much the highlights for chalices in this tank. Moving along, we have this one, which is pretty much a lot of frags. As you can see, a lot of bounce chalices over there. We also have our CK66s in here. Pretty much lineage from Route 66. These guys are pretty in popular demand. If you want, you can look on the Route 66 Instagram and see the mother colony. I think you have to stroll a little more down. But these guys are pretty cool. Let's see. Unique mushrooms. Oh, yeah. Little thing that I thought was pretty unique would be this little tequila sunrise. Basically, it has all its little bubbles on there. And for some reason, this little hunch, I've tried cutting it off before, and then it just grew right back. So I don't know if it's just lineage like that or if it was some type of weird thing that keeps making it come back. Other than that, we have this little Deadpool mushroom I believe I posted not too long ago. It's starting to get a little bit of bubbles on it, so high hopes for that. Hopefully we get a little bouncing mushroom right there. That's it for that tank. Let's see. Oh yeah, before I forget, we also have this little nano tank we got from PMW at Reef Palooza. We have a little neon goby in here, as well as a flaming prawn goby with the pistol shrimp. He likes to bother the clam, although I'm not too fond of it. He seems to love it. The clam doesn't really mind. It just closes up every once in a while. That one's pretty cool. Let's see. Going back to this one, let me put you guys down for a second and grab my viewer. So I do want to show off the rainbow plungias or anything. Let's put this down. Grab this. There we go. So you really have to see these guys in person too, but these are also pretty neat. They get pretty huge if I can try pick one up. Let's see, let's close up this one. Yeah, see, they get pretty big for something so small. We also have our hobbits in here. As you can see, this little guy right there. Hobbits are pretty, another high-end mushroom, as well as the OGs. And then we have babies of the bouncy tequila sunrises in here. Moving along, our Yuma isn't open right now, but that guy's pretty cool. It's pretty much giant bubbles all around. And that's pretty much all the frags in there. If you guys have any questions or want to see anything, feel free to let me know. I'm just walking around. Give me a little intro. Let's put you guys back down here. Whoa, still messing with the tripod. There we go. Let's see. The first live sale is going to be May 2nd, around the same time, about 5 o'clock. We're planning to do that. We're really going to have a lot of our chalices, mushrooms, fabias, zoas. Let's see what else. Names. Hammers, torches, a really big variety. We're really stoked about that one coming up. Yeah, if everything goes good, about May 2nd, to answer that question. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to let me know. I'm going back in the comments, just reviewing it real quick. Let's see. Oh yeah, I did get a couple questions earlier through Instagram asking a little bit more about our fish system and how that's going to be working. So let me pan this back here. So the fish system is pretty much 200 gallons of total water volume. Where we have tangs, clownfish, wrasses. Let's see what other fishes have we put in here. We put an Australian stripey, chromies, gobies, and I believe on the Palm Street I do have a collections page with all the photos of what we use for quarantining. But just in case, let me pull these out real quick. Oh, yeah. It definitely takes a lot to clean. I spend about, I believe, about 6 to 8 hours a day on weekends cleaning everything, like doing all the socks, because there's a lot of filter socks with all these, and just making sure all the corals are happy and healthy and good to go. That's pretty much what I've been working with alongside with school. Let me see. Continuing about the fishes, we have our copper power. That's what, if I can find the camera, that's the copper brand we've been using for this, and pretty much it has got rid of all of the ick they get when they come in. That pretty much gets rid of everything. Of course, we do a pre-dip of formaldehyde, if I said that correct. That is a strong dip and pretty much wipes out almost every pest they can get. Other than that, we do feed Seachem Metroplex and Focus. That's pretty much going to be in their what they digest, and that gets rid of most of the internal parasites, is what I was told. That is usually fed every day. I think the ratio is about 1 scoop per cube. Next, we have, because that stuff is really, I guess, nasty, we also have our garlic. If I can find the camera again. Garlic. The garlic pretty much, of course, makes it smell a little better, and they do go after the food a lot more. If your fishes aren't eating or taking food, garlic is one of the recommended things. The last thing was silicone concentrate. I believe it was just mainly like a food booster. Yeah, a food booster. It helps out with their immune system and everything like that. Let me see. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about our equipment and what we've been using. So we currently have our apexes on all the tanks except for the nano fish system and our 300 gallon over here. This whole thing, that one's still new. But the apex has been working pretty good with us. The tridents, I do get a couple questions about the tridents. I have 3. As long as you keep them pretty clean and make sure they're calibrated consistently when you change out reagents, they stay pretty on track. I would recommend at least, let me get a ladder, or I can just show it. I forgot this is a little tripod. But if you remove this little black panel right there, you can access the sampling tube. It's about like this big. And there's a lot of YouTube tutorials on that, how to clean it. But that's pretty much how it's going to basically check against, what is it? Yeah, check the parameters on that. Let me see. Oh yeah, another question was about the stripies. So my experience with the stripies is pretty, I'll say, different compared to everyone else, because I've had at least about 10 different stripies, and they all have different personalities. The one you see swimming around in this tank, if I can find them. Where'd he go? There we go. That stripey has been pretty good with us. It has not nipped at any LPS. Although, moving along to, where did the stripe? Oh, the stripey's hiding in this one, but that guy, he ended up nipping at Acanthos. So that's definitely a no-go. So he's one bad case. And then same thing with this other new one all the way over there. He also nips at meat corals. So it's pretty much, it kind of varies. I think what really helps is just nonstop feeding them, so they don't really I guess, have a taste for corals. But other than that, let's see. Oh yeah, I was talking about equipment. So equipment, lighting wise, we are running AI hydras, the 32s on the 300-gallon system that way. There's about 4 of them, and we're running them about, I believe, 60%. I see a couple new people joining in. Again, my name is Isaac. Welcome to the Palm Street Live. The first live sale would be May 2nd, around the same time, 5 o'clock. This is the introductory live, which pretty much we're going to be talking about the systems, answering any questions you guys may have, and if you want to see any new corals. Thank you. Don't forget to follow. Thank you for sharing the live. This all helps out on the algorithm. But yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, we're running Radeon Gen 5s on this tank. We have 3 XR15s. We also have the T5s, but they only run about 2 hours a day, just, I believe, in the middle of the cycle. So it's like a little, mimics the sun going in the top. Can you show off some of the frags you would be selling? Yes, I can. I kind of turned the waves back on. Let me take this back off. So we're planning to make a bunch of chalices in there because I know people have been liking chalices. We'll definitely be having some of our bounce chalices, Miamis. We're trying to make a little, I guess, variety for beginner friendly and high end collectors. We have some mummy eyes. Some of the Goku chalices are going to be going in there. Of course, the jelly beans. Everyone loves jelly beans. We also have some Montiporas that will be going in there, some Cephastrias. And we are going to be posting in that live sale some of our Scolies and maybe Acanthos. I'm not sure if I can find a wrap that can fit those, but the Acanthos and Scolies will be in there. Torches, hammers, a lot of the frags from here, a lot of different Zoas. I believe we have, Bam Bams, Rastas, Death Stars, and Bloodshots. Those will be also in there. We're also going to be posting some Rainbow Fungias, OG Bounces, Mellow Yellows, Magic Carpets, and the such. Bounce Mushrooms, yes, there will definitely be Bounce Mushrooms. We would have OGs. It is going to be a lot of stuff. Our goal, I believe, is about 100 pieces for the first live sale, just to give it a little kick. But yeah, I haven't seen too many bounce mushrooms on the market for Palm Street, so I'm pretty excited about that to show you guys. Thank you. I definitely appreciate the compliments. Let me see. I'm trying to take a quick little look around to see what else will probably be in there. Oh yeah, it will be starting about 5 o'clock, May 2nd. I'll try to start it a little early to, say hello and make sure there's a lot of time in there to talk and show off all the corals. Let me see. You will also be posting. Where did the coral go? Oh yeah, we'll also be getting some colonies. Frankenstein mushrooms, we don't have any at the moment. For sure, we'll probably at least get 1 or 2 for the live sale, but I'll definitely have to check back on that if we can get those. That fell. Other than that, we have some Diablo plates we're going to be putting in there, some Insane plates. Those are the Dioceras. Let's see. Oh yeah, some Ghanies. So we will be posting some pink Ghanies, some of the Grandmaster Ghanioporas. I don't believe we will be putting fishes on the live sale yet. I think we're going to give that a couple weeks to settle in, just to let them go through that little quarantine. Let's see. Oh, hey Max, welcome. But yeah, a lot of corals. If you also see anything, if you are watching this post live and you're just reviewing everything and you see a coral you like, you can always just message us and we can try get it into the next live, or if you want it, we can sell it right there. Um, Let me see. I think that pretty much sums up most of it. But I think this live gets shared to YouTube, and we're working on sharing it to. Oh, have you gone through any bounce mushrooms yet? So we have a couple bounce mushrooms. If you want to message us privately and buy it, this live sale is mainly for introduction purposes. But the bounces would be pretty much like the mellow yellows. I can re-explain that in a second. Basically, these guys are, I'll say, a good introduction to bounces. The bounce stays consistent throughout the mushroom until they get like huge. I don't have any mothers yet, but their main color is going to be teal and like a little tint of green. I do have OG bounces as well. If I can shake this off. The OG bounces will be over yonder. So those will be that whole row right there, excluding 2 from that section, but thank you. Those will definitely be bounces on there. We will have our bouncing tequila sunrises on there. If I can angle this tripod a bit. There we go. So bouncing tequila sunrise, I do mean like they have a little bubble, like how that is right there. So the regular tequila sunrises is pretty much flat. I don't think any of them are flat anymore. But those are also another budget friendly if you wanted to get into bounces. Let me see. Yeah, those bounce mushrooms. Oh yeah, I was going back to equipment. So finishing off the lighting, that was pretty much the lighting setup for this. Moving on to this tank, we have 2 Kessels. The 2 Kessels, they're AP 700s. They're probably running at about like 60% straight blues. That's been pretty good for all these corals. Not too sure with bounces. I haven't tried many bounce mushrooms in this tank. The tanks where I can really customize the lights, that's where I do see more bounce activity in. We've been experimenting with cranking the UV all the way up to max, the channel setting. So when you look through your app and you see all the different settings, mushrooms like the Doughboy have been able to bubble. If I can pick her up real quick. So she's been getting bigger bubbles on the sides. I'm not sure if that's from the lineage or the lights. Of course, we're experimenting with bubble chalices as well, chalices that could bounce. Thank you. Let's see. I do have some mushrooms over here, like the CK66. Those guys are pretty cool. Let me know on the dough girls. Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I'll definitely let you know on the dough girls. They are in popular demand, but I'll definitely keep you posted. Oh yeah, that's why I wanted to show you guys. Let that camera go. Right about here. So another unique bounce that happened from the high UV spectrum is going to be this little blasto colony. It's kind of a little shrunk up now because I kind of messed with it a little earlier. But they can also get a little bubble like that. And it gets bigger, but that's how that one is. Other than that, that's pretty much all the experiments we've been successful with bouncing. We do have NEMs as well, such as the Nexus anemones, and what were the other ones? Bubble tips. So a little bit of the mix. If you wanted to see how Nexus look, they're pretty much like a half-half anemone, half green, half bubble tip. Those guys are pretty cool. Let's see, moving back over to this room. Oh yeah, a popular question I got from Instagram and Facebook was about the chromis. If I can fix that camera again. Okay, well, talking about the chromis, everyone's been asking me how I've been able to really keep a whole school of them, and especially getting them breeding, because having them breed in the tank is a little uncommon. To be honest, I think if the tank has a lot of like live rock and room for them to hide, they shouldn't breed too bad, especially if you get them all in a bunch. I believe I bought mine all as like a big 20 pack. So I got 20 of them at once, added them all at night, all from the same fish store. I've been feeding the tank with Cyclops. It's basically like a little tiny food that's probably the size of copepods. So they've been liking that. It kind of mimics their little feeding habits. And yeah, I don't think there's any eggs right now. But that's pretty much my experience on those. And let's see. Oh yeah. So about this, another little thing about this tank is we have our little zoa farm in the back right there. That's pretty much where all our zoas are grown. They're grown under pretty much T5s is what I see the fastest growth on them for. But let's check this out. Trying to find something unique. Oh yeah. So if I can place the little camera down here. Give me one moment, everyone, while I try get the tripod to stay put. But what I'm trying to show is the Dioceras. Everyone seems to get a little scared when I tell them it's pretty much just a little break. Yes, I am going to sell fish. Right now we're working on these guys. These guys should be done with quarantine by the end of this coming weekend. So if you do want to know, we currently don't ship fish, but it's mainly local pickup. We currently have percula clowns, maroon clowns, captive bred purple tang. We have an Australian stripey down there for Aptasia. We have some flaming prawns. I can't really show them because they're kind of hiding a little bit. We have some, I think they're called Gideon gobies, and some wrasses, some chromis, but pretty much they go through a 2-week to 4-week copper treatment before we try selling them. And my favorite fish, that is going to be, stripey. Stripeys, I sell them at about $100, 80 to $100. He will probably be about 80. He is a very hungry stripey, and to be honest, stripeys have really wiped out all my Aptasia to the point where the only ones I'll see is if it's somewhere hiding in the sump. But answering questions one by one. Favorite fish, to be honest, that's kind of a tough one. I would say right now my favorite is going to be like the Nasos, especially the blonde Nasos. I don't have any of the blondes right now, but I do have these little regular ones, and they pretty much are gentle giants, if I had to say. But those guys, and maybe the maroon clowns, which would be, thank you, that one. Actually, a little story about this one. It's getting a little sidetracked, but a little story about that lightning maroon. I got her and her mate. They were, I think, in a little, it was from a person who was in college, and it came in like a little plastic Ziploc bag. It was about yay big. They had them in like a small frag tank, and they just didn't want to see them swimming on their side. So I've had these guys for about like a year and a half, and every 2 weeks there's always a new batch of eggs, like right under the anemone, if I can find it. Not sure if you guys can see the male under the anemone, but he's guarding the new batch of eggs. I haven't tried raising them yet, but it is fun to watch, and it is something pretty cool to the tank. To be honest, it's a little hard, a little difficult, because I'm trying to get these guys to pair, but I'm a little scared to drop that divider wall, and then they're going to start fighting each other. But those guys are pretty pretty difficult. Oh yeah, favorite coral. Favorite coral. I'm actually going to show you guys something a little, I guess, top secret, as there's only like one coral I've seen like this. Alright. How to get my hands a little wet. Ooh. There we go. So that is our one mushroom we have not seen at all in a while, or actually ever. We're still trying to figure out if it's a discomosa or something, but so far no babies. It's been about, I think the guy had it for 2 years and it's still nothing. But that one is kept in here because I don't want anything to happen to it. Let me see. How often do you get new bounce mushrooms? New bounce mushrooms, I'll say probably on a bi-weekly basis. We usually stock, let me see. We're trying to get on the road back to 100 OGs. Pretty much a year or two ago, that entire tank right there was filled with OG bounces. I've had all 4 OG strains that were out there, from the wild version to the worldwide corals to, well, a bunch of others. But yeah, we do get bounce mushrooms bi-weekly, or it's either every week or bi-weekly we get something new. We're working on a deal where we can get some Frankensteins and some more Doughgirls and Doughboys. But yeah, just let us know and keep us posted if you're looking for anything specific. And let's see, what was other questions? Stripey answered. Fish and coral answered. Let's see. I think that's all the questions. So let me see. What else was unique? Do you feed Fido? We do feed Fido. I'll say once a month we feed phytoplankton just to keep our Christmas tree worms happy. And I think, what is it, a citron leather happy? Because those guys feed primarily on phytoplankton. But we have a little farm. Under there is a whole little case of 4 gallons of phytoplankton. And we harvest that pretty well. I think, yeah, it grows so fast that it's pretty much ready in 5 days. But yeah, those guys are pretty cool. Especially when you're feeding Fido, I do recommend feeding it because it is a natural like food source, and if you're not doing like any amino acids or anything like that, it's definitely something good. See, I showed off my secret mushroom over there. Talked about the species. Let's see, talked about the stolies. Showed off the doughboy and doughgirl. Showed off the bounce mushroom colony. No, bounce chalice colony. Showed off the CK and those guys. I think that's pretty sums up for mushrooms. Do show torches? Oh, thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of different mushrooms. Torches. So, another little quick thing. This is an introductory live. The live sale is going to be on May 2nd at about the same time. 5 o'clock is when this one started. So I'm gonna post that later today, so you can put a reminder and then you can be notified when that starts. But pretty much we have some Rapunzels, Dragon Tamers, New York Knicks, Holy Grails right there, Holy Guacs and stuff like that. Oh yeah, that's what it was. So we are gonna do a little giveaway. We're gonna be giving away one of our fungias in the next live. We're gonna be messing around with that setting. We're gonna be doing one of the rainbow fungias, some chalices, and thinking about one of the torches. Pretty sure it's probably gonna be one of the holy guacs because it is the fastest growing for us. So make sure to check in and be notified for that one. Let's see. But I think that's pretty much sums everything up. Unless you guys have any other questions, I'll stay here until it hits 40. What is that? Yeah, about 3 to 4 minutes. If you guys have any questions or want to see anything, feel free to let me know. Other than that, I think that pretty much sums up the introduction. Yeah, that pretty much sums up the introduction. What more can I show? Thank you. For the first one, I think it was a little hectic with this tripod. I think I definitely need to fix off that one. But I think I do have some time. I said I was going to cut off. I'll show off what we're using for the camera. Camera setup. Let me see, where can I place these? So for camera, if you haven't already seen on our collections page on Palm Street, it's pretty much, let me move this back so I can show it. There we go. So we are using a Canon 70D. Pretty much this is the setup with a little macro lens right there, and they call it a porthole. Pretty much lets me take a picture in the water, and if I can find a coral, zoom in on the coral and take it from there. All the photos and stuff you see on the Palm Street, the sale page, that's all going to be taken with that camera. If you want to know the settings on it, you can feel free to message us. We also use a couple different lenses, such as like the wide macro zoom lens and stuff like that. I think that's pretty much that. Camera, talked about the fish system, introduced coral tanks, showed off some corals. Alright, I think that's going to sum it up, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed the introduction live. Check in on May 2nd, about 5 o'clock is when the live sale is going to begin. We're going to be doing hammers, torches, chalices, bounce mushrooms, beginner mushrooms. We're going to be doing some giveaways of some torches, chalices, and one of the rainbow fungi as I showed off. And if you have any other questions, you can always just message us through our Instagram. I think Palm Street also has a messaging feature. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let's see.